I'm Jack Lawson, 42, contractor out of Texas. I build highways for a living, stuff you drive over every day and never think about. Tonight, I'm sitting at the oak table in the middle of my open-concept kitchen. The center of the house I call my legacy. I paid for every board in these walls with my back and my name. The place smells like seared steak, roasted potatoes, and that lemon cleaner Emily likes. Soft music, dishwasher humming, Austin dusk pushing a purple line across the windows. Looks like a peaceful Thursday evening in the suburbs. That's the funny part. Emily sits across from me. Silver hoop earrings, simple black dress, fingers loose around a glass of red wine. She's not fidgeting. She's not nervous. She cuts a piece of steak, chews, swallows, then sets the fork down like she's about to read a recipe off her phone. Instead, she leans forward, elbows on the table, eyes locked on mine. "I'm sleeping with your best friend," she says, voice level. "If you can't handle it, maybe we should divorce." Then she leans back, lifts her wine, and takes a sip. No flinch, no apology, just that sharp little smirk I used to call confidence, sitting on her face like she's testing a new lipstick. I don't throw my glass. I don't slam my fist. I don't ask why, like some lost teenager. What happens is quieter. The words hit like a punch to the gut. Sure. For a second, my ears ring and the room pulls back, like I'm watching my own life from the far corner of the ceiling. The chair under me might as well be bolted to the floor. I feel my jaw clench once, hard enough to click. But my voice, my body, they stay still. She waits for the explosion. She wants it. Yelling would make me the problem. Rage would be her cover. I just breathe. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Old weight room habit. "Okay," I say finally. That's it. One word. Flat. Steady. Her smirk twitches. Not much, but enough. She stands, smooths the front of her dress, gathers her plate. "Think about what you want," she tosses over her shoulder, like she just suggested changing cable plans. Then she walks away toward the sink, heels tapping across the wood I paid for. I watch her back retreat down the hallway and feel something shift, low and permanent, like rebar setting in concrete. Most people think men break in moments like this. Cry, beg, bargain. Sometimes a man goes quiet right before he takes his power back. You're gonna want to know how I got here, how my wife ended up sleeping with my best friend, and why I didn't flip that table when she finally said it out loud. So we're going to rewind. Back to when this house still smelled like hope and fresh lumber. Back to when I thought I had a brother instead of a snake. Because long before this dinner, I'd already stopped being the fool in the room. Tonight, this sentence across the table, this is just the part where I stop pretending not to know the truth. Rewind with me. Before the sentence across the table, before the cameras, before the ballroom, there was just work. Sweat, diesel, and signatures. My old man started Lawson Construction with a beat-up pickup, a borrowed ladder, and a coffee can he used as a cash box. He poured concrete by hand, slept in that truck on overnight jobs, died with calluses so thick they barely bent. By the time I was 25, I turned his side hustle into an 8-figure highway and commercial outfit city council meetings at 7 a.m., freeway bids at noon, walking job sites under a sun that wanted you dead by 3. People see asphalt. I see payroll, insurance, suppliers, inspectors, lawsuits that almost happened but didn't because I stayed sharp. My parents were strict about one thing, protecting the work. Before I ever met Emily, they sat me at this same table with stacks of documents. Lawson Family Irrevocable Trust. Dry name, hard edge. The company, the equipment, the commercial real estate, all of it moved under that umbrella. Sign here, Jack. Date here. Not romantic, not exciting. Just discipline on paper. At the time, I didn't know I was signing the difference between losing a marriage and losing my life. The house came later. Simple, 2-story place outside Austin. Not a mansion. Big windows, oak floors, a long island in the kitchen where coffee mugs and blueprints always ended up. In the mornings it smelled like dark roast and fresh lumber off my clothes. In the evenings like rosemary, garlic, and whatever Emily decided to pull out of those Target bags she loved dragging in. I remember one afternoon clear as glass. Sun dropping low, throwing gold across the floor. Emily humming in the kitchen, unpacking throw pillows and candles like she was setting up a magazine spread. Pot on the stove, our wedding photo on the counter, her laughing at something on her phone. I stood in the doorway and thought, we really built a life here. That was the picture I carried in my head. And then there was Ryan Cooper. Met him in college, two broke guys in cheap boots splitting gas and terrible pizza. He was my best man at the wedding. The guy who helped me push Lawson Construction from doing okay to big enough for the city to actually know our name. I made him project manager, handed him a company truck, gave him keys to job sites and, eventually, to my house. He knew my alarm code, knew my travel schedule, knew where we kept the spare keys, which neighbors were nosy, which corners of the yard the cameras didn't quite hit. I'd text him when I was flying out. He'd say, "I'll keep an eye on things, brother." I believed him. Back then, it all felt like loyalty, like the kind of brotherhood men are supposed to be grateful for. I didn't know I was handing him the blueprint to rob me blind, just not of money. The funny thing about betrayal is how normal the room looks when it walks in. It's another Tuesday night at the same kitchen table. No big storm, no drama. Just me with my laptop open, answering emails about concrete pours and lane closures while Emily hums at the stove. Wooden spoon tapping a rhythm on the pot. The house smells like tomato sauce and garlic. My work phone is on my right. Her phone is on my left, near my elbow, screen down. It buzzes once, then again. I'm not a phone snooper, never have been. But a man's gut keeps score even when his brain makes excuses. Mine's been restless for weeks. Little things, off notes in her voice, that look she gets when she thinks she's alone. The phone lights up, face down, and the vibration nudges it just enough that the lock screen tilts toward me. My eyes go where the noise is. One preview line. That's all I see. "Babe, when will your figurehead husband leave again?" Can't wait. Figurehead husband. It's amazing how two words can strip the oxygen out of a room. The fridge hum goes distant. The spoon tapping sounds like it's happening in another house. Figurehead. The man in the photo, not the man in charge. I could pick it up. I could walk over, slam it on the counter, demand who Babe is and why my name got replaced with a job title. Instead, I feel something click off inside me. A switch. Not my heart. My patience. Anger without leverage is just noise. I set the phone back exactly where it was, screen still down. I line it up with the tile grout like I've never touched it. "Dinner's ready," she calls, all sing-song, like we're in a commercial. "Smells great," I say, and my voice doesn't shake. I sit down across from her and chew my food without tasting a bite. Those two words burning a hole in the back of my skull. Figurehead husband. When she moves to the sink and starts rinsing dishes, back turned, I slide my own phone out under the table. Thumb moves fast, automatic. To Ethan security, I need invisible cameras at my house. No wires. No noise. Call me first thing. I hit send, lock the screen, and slip the phone away. Right there, no shouting, no broken plates, no begging for the truth. I stepped out of the role she wrote for me. She thinks I'm the figurehead. She has no idea the man she's been mocking just became the one gathering evidence. Saturday morning. She's in a white robe, hair in a towel, talking about a much-needed spa day. She kisses my cheek at the door, smells like citrus and expensive lotion, and tells me not to work too hard. I watch her taillights disappear down the street. 10 minutes later, a plain black van rolls up to the curb. No logo, no noise. Ethan steps out. Mid-30s, quiet, the kind of man who's seen enough that nothing surprises him. He carries a hard case like it's full of glass. "You want wireless, no signs, full coverage," he says. Not a question. "Exactly," I answered. Kitchen, living room, hallway, bedroom, patio. Nobody notices anything. We walk to the house. He moves like a surgeon, no wasted motion, no commentary. Tiny lenses vanish into picture frames, the corner of a vent cover, the edge of a bookshelf, a recessed light over the bed. One in the entryway facing the front door. One under the patio eave. By the time he's done, the place looks exactly the same. Same throw pillows, same rug, same kitchen island. Except now the house has eyes. He hands me a receiver the size of a paperback. Encrypted feed. Record this and back up to your laptop, he says. You sure you want to see everything? Yeah. I tell him. I'm done guessing. A few days later, I built my alibi. Duffel bag with work clothes tossed in the truck. Clipboard on the passenger seat. I tell Emily I've got to check a freeway job 3 hours out. Maybe stay overnight, depending on inspection. There's that flicker in her eyes. Quick, like a match being struck. Relief, then the smile she pastes over it. Be safe, she says, hand on my chest. Text me when you get there. I will, I lie. I drive far enough to put miles on the odometer, check into a cheap hotel, take a photo of the room, and text it to her. Then I leave the key on the dresser, walk back out, and head home the next day without saying a word. That night, after the hugs and small talk, she fell asleep in our bed like she didn't just audition for a new life while I was gone. I leave her there and go to my office. The door was closed, lights low, receiver plugged into my laptop. My finger hovers for half a second, then I open the first file. On screen, I watch my own front door swing open. Ryan walks in without knocking. He drops his keys in my bowl. He looks right at the camera hidden in the frame and doesn't see a thing, because men like him never really see anything they don't own. Emily appears from the hallway, hair done, not a spa robe in sight. They greet each other like this isn't the first time, like it's routine. I sit very still and let the footage roll. Her voice, in my kitchen, talking about timing, lawyers, serving him papers, taking half of everything. His voice, bragging that he only let his woman marry his best friend for the money. They move down the hall toward the bedroom. I don't need to watch every second of what happens in there to understand all of it. I see enough. The way she looks in my doorway, the way he moves like he owns my space. My hand curls into a fist once. Just once. I almost slam the laptop shut. Almost. Instead, I force myself to sit there and watch long enough to erase any doubt I had about either of them. Then I save every file. I copy it all to an encrypted drive, label it quiet and boring, and drop it into the safe behind my books. When I close the safe door, the anger's still there, but it's wearing a different face. No more confusion. No more guessing. It ends tomorrow, I tell the empty room. And for the first time since that figurehead husband text, my voice sounds like mine again. The next tomorrow isn't fireworks. It's ink. I'm in a darkwood office downtown. Leather chair under me. City noise on the other side of double-glazed glass. David Miller sits across the desk. 60s, gray hair, thick file with my name on it. He did my parents' wills, the original trust, the kind of lawyer who measures his words like concrete. I slide the flash drive across. He plugs it in, watches maybe 30 seconds. Emily's voice about taking half. Ryan's bragging. He doesn't flinch, doesn't ask for more. Just pulls his glasses off, opens the old Lawson family irrevocable trust file, and spreads the pages out between us. Jack, he says, tapping dates and signatures I barely remembered signing at 25. This all predates your marriage. Company stock, commercial properties, core accounts, they're in the trust, not your personal estate. She has no claim on them. No drama. Just a fact. Those words pour a foundation under my feet. We walk through the rest, what's marital, what's not, what I can live with losing versus what's non-negotiable. By the time I stand, I'm not guessing. I'm armed. Next stop is the bank. Fluorescent lights, fake plants, quiet country music. Amy Rogers, branch manager, greets me like she always does. A professional smile, a little softer because I've known her for 10 years. I need to update some authorizations, I tell her. We sit in her glass cubicle. I hand over a neatly typed list. Every card with Emily's name on it, joint checking, joint credit, any authorized user plastic I added when I thought we were a team. I want these frozen as of midnight tonight, I say. No exceptions. She looks at the list, looks at me, sees what she needs to see in my face, and nods. I sign every line slowly, Blue ink on white paper. Imagining gas pumps beeping red. Online orders declining. Little error messages popping up on her favorite apps. Then it's my office. Lawson Construction, second floor. Framed highway photos on the wall. I call in Linda Vasquez from HR, sharp. No nonsense. Loyal in a way that doesn't need to say the word. I need a termination package for Ryan Cooper. I tell her. Gross misconduct. No severance. Access and credentials ready to be killed the second I give the word. She doesn't ask what he did. She just writes it down. On paper, his career is already over. He just doesn't know where the edge is yet. That night at home, Emily's glowing. She curls up next to me on the couch and pitches the idea of a huge birthday party. Ballroom, my employees, her yoga friends, a milestone night. You deserve something perfect, she says. I'll make it special, I answer. And I do. I book the ballroom, the caterer, the DJ. Then I send a separate email to the AV tech. I need projector access, full sound, one special video queued up, locked until I'm on stage. She thinks I'm planning a party. What I'm really doing is building a stage for the truth. On the eve of the party, the house feels staged. There are garment bags hanging in the doorway, shoes lined up on the rug, balloons half inflated in the corner. The kitchen island is covered in catering brochures and handwritten lists, flowers, colors, seating charts. She walks around humming, barefoot in leggings and an oversized t-shirt with my last name on it like it's still earned. I'm on the couch, TV on mute, pretending to watch a game I don't care about. I'm really just listening to the way she moves, light, relaxed, untouched by consequence. She slides onto my lap without asking, wrapping her arms around my neck, breath warm against my ear. I love how you never say no to me, she whispers. Most husbands are so difficult. Most husbands don't know what their wives do when they're at work. I look her in the eyes, calm, steady. Emily, I say, is there anything going on between you and Ryan? For half a second I see it, the flash of guilt, the animal flicker. Then it hardens. Her face shifts into something meaner, sharper. Seriously? She snaps. You're jealous now? Just asking you straight, I reply. Anything I should know? She leans back like I've offended her religion. So what if there is? She hisses. If you can't handle it, maybe you should leave. There it is. No more pretending. No more we're just friends. No more lies that sound like excuses. Most men right there would blow the roof off the place. Yell, curse, demand details, maybe throw something just to feel like they still exist. I don't. I let the silence hang until it gets uncomfortable. For her. Then I nod once. Didn't mean to upset you. I say, voice flat but polite. I'll give you some space. I need to finish some work upstairs anyway. She scoffs, rolls off my lap, and mutters something about me being dramatic as she heads back to her dresses. She thinks she won that round. Upstairs, behind my office door, the whole tone changes. No TV, no humming. Just me, the laptop, and that little flash drive sitting in the middle of the desk like a detonator. I plug it in, open my editing software, start laying out the tracks. On one side, our wedding video. Grainy footage of her walking down the aisle, veil light as smoke. Ryan beside me in a suit, hand on my shoulder as I say vows I meant. Speeches about loyalty, friendship, lifelong brothers. On the other, the hidden camera clips. Her in my kitchen promising to bleed me for half of everything. Ryan talks about letting his woman marry his best friend for the money. Their bodies disappearing into my bedroom like it's their private joke. I cut them together slowly. Clinical. Her saying I do. Hard cut to when he's gone. I'll serve him papers. My best man's toast about having Jack's back forever. Hard cut to him walking into my house with his own key. Laughter from the wedding. Crossfade into their low voices plotting a future without me. I strip out the muffled noise. Clean the audio until each word is sharp enough to draw blood. No room for you misheard, or that's out of context. Just their voices, clear and inescapable. By the time I'm done, it's not a video. It's a verdict. I export the file, label it something simple, birthday_gift.mp4, and slide the drive into my pocket. The next afternoon, I'm at the hotel ballroom early. Chandeliers, polished floors, servers setting up glasses. The AV tech is there by the booth, coiling cables. "You're Jack?" he asks. "Yeah. This is the video," I say, handing him the drive. "Nobody sees it, nobody plays it, until I'm on stage and I give you the cue." He plugs it in, tests the projection once with the sound low. Just enough for me to see Emily's veil flash across the screen. Then Ryan's face in my kitchen. Even at a whisper, their words carry. "It'll hit hard," he says. "That's the point," I answer. I run through the timing with the MC speech, then a little surprise. We shake hands. The room fills in my mind with faces that think they're coming to celebrate. By the time I walk back out into the sun, the whole thing is locked. There's nothing left to argue about with Emily. No more conversations that start with lies and end with me swallowing my pride. The next time we talk, it'll be in front of everyone she wants to impress, under bright lights, with a screen too big for her to hide from. The hotel ballroom looks like money and make-believe. Chandeliers glowing warm, white tablecloths, roses in tall vases, silverware lined up like a photo in a catalog. Waiters in black vests float between tables. Topping off champagne like this is some fairy tale milestone and not an execution. Emily owns the room. Silver dress, hair perfect, makeup sharp. She does a slow lap, hugging people, laughing too loud at bad jokes. I hear it all. "You're so lucky." He really went all out. "You two are goals." She glances at me from across the room, this satisfied little smile like I've already been graded and passed. "Ryan's not here. Got stuck on a site," he texted me earlier. Good. One less voice in the noise. The DJ cuts the music for a second. The MC steps up to the mic, big grin, eyes on me. "Ladies and gentlemen," he booms. "Emily's loving husband has a few words to say on this special night." Polite applause. A couple of whistles. People turn their chairs toward the stage, expecting a soft speech about love and gratitude. I walk up slowly, steady, and feel 100 eyes look me over. Just a contractor in a dark suit, tie knotted tight, boots polished instead of steel-toed. I take the mic. "Emily always said she wanted a night she'd never forget." I start. My voice comes out clear. "So I brought something special." A few chuckles. Someone calls out, "Ah, here we go. Kill the lights," I say, nodding to the AV booth. The chandeliers dim. The projector hums to life. On the big screen behind me, our wedding video flickers on, her walking down the aisle, my younger face trying not to cry, Ryan at my shoulder, hand on my back like a brother. The room softens. People smile, some wipe at their eyes. Emily presses her hands to her chest, playing the part. And then the cut hits. No more church. No more music. Just my living room in clear HD. Emily's voice. "I'll serve him papers when he's gone. He'll never see it coming." Ryan's voice. "We'll take half of everything. That's what we agreed." The audio is clean, sharp, bouncing off the ballroom walls. You can hear a glass slip from someone's hand and shatter. Clip after clip plays. The kitchen, the hallway. Their bodies pressed too close in my house. Their words about my money, my name, my role as the figurehead husband. I didn't use anything gratuitous. I didn't need to. Their mouths damn them just fine. Guests gasp. Some look away. Others stare like they can't blink. One of Emily's yoga friends starts crying. Her father goes the color of paper. Emily herself freezes. Then she moves. First to anger, then horror, then something past both. She lurches to her feet, hands out like she can physically block the screen. "Turn it off," she screams. "Jack, turn it off." I don't say a word. I let the last clip play. Ryan in my kitchen, laughing. "When he's done paying for everything, he's done," he says on screen. That's the deal. The video ends on Emily's face, in my bedroom, saying, "I can't wait to be rid of him." The screen goes black. The silence afterward is heavier than the noise. I step down from the stage and walk toward her. She's on her knees now, dress pulled around her. mascara streaking down her cheeks, hands shaking, eyes wild. "Jack, please," she babbles. It's not what it looks like. We can talk." I don't look around. I don't address the crowd. I just reach into my jacket and pull out a manila envelope. Inside, divorce papers, copies of the trust documents, a clean summary of exactly what she's not getting. I hold it out to her. "This is what it looks like." I tell her quietly, "You wanted half of everything. You get half of what's yours. That's it." She takes the envelope with numb fingers, like it's hot. I lean in just enough for only her to hear. "Happy birthday," I say. Then I straighten, turn my back on the woman I married, and walk toward the exit. No rush, no looking over my shoulder. As the ballroom erupts, voices, questions, someone yelling at the DJ to turn the music back on. I pull my phone from my pocket and send one text to Linda. Now, across town at that exact moment, Ryan's access to Lawson Construction dies. Emails locked, key card dead, company truck flagged. By the time the hotel doors close behind me and the night air hits my face, the life they built on my name is already collapsing from both ends. She chases me into the parking lot that night barefoot, silver dress dragging on concrete, makeup running. "Jack, please, please, I'll change, I'll fix it, I'll cut him off." Her voice is high, broken, full of panic she never had when she thought she owned the board. I turn once. "You already changed," I tell her. "Every time you picked him and the money over us. This is just me catching up." Then I get in the car and shut the door. Her hands smack the window once, then fall away. Fast forward. Gray morning. Courthouse steps slick from overnight rain. Flags snapping in the wind. Reporters hanging around like vultures, sniffing for anything with teeth. They know just enough about the video to be hungry. Inside, it's fluorescent lights and cold air. State seal on the wall, rows of benches, that quiet hum of people trying not to talk. I sit at one table beside David. Dark suit, no ring. Across from us, Emily in a black dress and sunglasses, like grief, can be worn as an outfit. Her lawyer leans over, whispering, shuffling papers they both want to believe will change something. All rise. We stand. The judge takes the bench, calm, tired, like he's seen every flavor of disaster two people can make together. They barely get through the formalities before David slides the Lawson family irrevocable trust into the record. "Your Honor, this document predates the marriage by 8 years, he says. It contains the company, core properties, and key accounts. We're asking the court to recognize those assets as outside the marital estate." The judge reads, check the dates, looks over his glasses at Emily's side. "These assets are clearly separate," he says. "Mrs. Lawson has no claim to them. We will proceed on the remaining marital property only." One sentence. That's all it takes. I watch the hope leak out of her posture. Her lawyer stammers something about needing more time, more discovery. The judge shuts it down. "The court will not invent rights that don't exist, counselor. Move on." From there it's quick. Irretrievably broken. Terms confirmed. Gavel hits wood. Marriage over just like that. Outside, cameras flash. Someone yells my name. Asks if I have a comment. I keep walking. Behind me, Emily's voice cracks. "Jack, please. I made a mistake. Just one mistake." I turn enough to face her, calm. "No," I say. "You made a choice. Over and over. That's not a mistake. That's who you are." She reaches for my arm. Before she can touch me, another voice cuts in, Ryan's. "It's over, Emily," he says, stepping past her. "No warmth. No rescue. I'm not burning my life down for you." He doesn't look at me. He doesn't have the right anymore. He just walks away, leaving her between us and holding nothing. The bailiff gently moves her along as the reporters shout questions that don't matter. I get into the back of the car waiting at the curb and look down at my left hand. Pale band of skin where the ring sat, like a tan line on a job site. I lost a wife, sure, but I kept something that doesn't come with paperwork. My name, my work, and the fact that when it counted I didn't fold. Revenge night gets the headlines. The cleanup never does. A week after court, I made one last call to her parents. I'm in my truck outside a site, engine off, hard hat on the seat next to me. "Steve, Carol," I say when they pick up, both on speaker. "I'm having a moving company pack up Emily's things. They'll call you to arrange delivery. I'm not out to ruin her life, but I'm done letting her run mine." There's a long pause. Then her dad clears his throat. "Understood," he says quietly. "We'll take it from here." No shouting, no blame, just adults sitting in the wreckage of what their daughter chose. At home, I do my part. I pull out boxes and start with the bedroom. Her clothes, her shoes, her perfume bottles. Each one wrapped and packed, neat and careful. Wedding photos come off the walls, go into a single labeled box. I don't smash anything. I don't burn anything. Anger is loud. The finish is quiet. By the time the movers haul the last box out, the house feels bigger. Emptier, yeah, but also lighter. Like someone turned off a buzzing light you'd gotten used to. Back at Lawson Construction, I keep it simple. I stand in front of my crews in the yard, gravel under our boots. "Ryan's no longer with the company," I tell them. "Leadership change. Here's what you need to know: your jobs are safe, your checks are good, and you don't mess with a man's livelihood. Not mine, not yours. Anyone who has a problem with that can see me now." Nobody moves. The real work starts after hours. One night, standing in the dark kitchen where I first saw that figurehead husband text, I open my phone and start a note. "Gym, therapy, clean the house, call old friends." No checking her socials. The next day, I actually followed it. On the first early morning run, my lungs feel like they're filled with concrete dust. Knees aching, sweat soaking my t-shirt, but I keep going. Not to get revenge, not to glow up, just to prove to myself I can move forward under my own power. Therapy feels strange at first. Me in a chair, some guy with a notebook asking about my childhood. But I talk. Not because I'm broken, but because I want to understand how I let certain things slide so long. In the office, I sit at my dad's old desk and sign a new highway contract. Fresh ink, new project. I think about him, about the trust, about the fact that legacy isn't just money. It's discipline. It's not handing your spine to someone who didn't earn it. One afternoon, my phone buzzes. "Ryan." I stare at his name for a long second, then answer. "Jack, man." He starts, voice soft. "I just wanted to say I'm sorry. We were messed up. We're done, man." I cut in. "That's all there is." Click. Block. No rage, no long speeches. Just a door shut that's never opening again. So here we are, back to the present. Me at this same kitchen table, house quiet, ring gone, trust intact. I kept my company. I kept my parents' legacy. Most important, I kept my self-respect. You might be listening to this with your own version of my story rattling around in your chest. A text you read, a lie you caught, a line someone crossed while smiling in your face. Here's what I'll tell you. You're not done because they betrayed you. You're done when you decide you're finished being the man they think you are. You don't have to flip tables or burn your life down. You just have to stand your ground. Gather your facts, protect your name, and walk away from anyone who treats your effort like it's owed. Take your power back. The road doesn't end in betrayal. For a man who refuses to give away his backbone, that's just where the next chapter starts.